Alright, today we are going to be continuing in section 17.2. I'm going to call this part 2. Today we're going to focus on reactions and polymers. The main reaction that alkenes and alkynes can undergo is what's called hydrogenation, which means hydrogen atoms are added to the carbons in the double bond of an alkene or in an alkyne. But hydrogenation means hydrogens are added, so the double bonds have to be removed and converted to a single bond. There's often a catalyst used, such as platinum or nickel or palladium. This reaction down here shows 2-butene. Here's the double bond. Notice there's one hydrogen on each carbon here. And after the hydrogenation, then we have 2 hydrogens on each carbon here, adding hydrogen in. This is the way that unsaturated fats in vegetable oils are converted to saturated fats to make a more solid product. The terms unsaturated and saturated have to do with how much hydrogen is involved. So an unsaturated fat, has a double bond, as shown down here in oleic acid, and that makes it more liquid at room temperature, so it's an oil. And then if that double bond is removed and we add hydrogen, then we make what's called stearic acid, which is a more solid product. So this is how they take vegetable oil and convert it into margarine, so it's a more solid product. A polymer is a long chain molecule. Polymers are found in nature. Cellulose, starch, proteins, DNA, all are considered polymers. Polymers are molecules that have a repeating pattern of molecule. So they can be made synthetically as well. Some examples are polyethylene, Teflon, and nylon. You may have heard of those already. Polymers are made up of small repeating units called monomers. So these monomers are small repeating things repeat over and over and over again. Often they're made by the reaction of small alkenes. So the polymer polyethylene is, poly means many, ethylene. So there is polyethylene, many ethylene monomers, and it's used in plastics all over the world. So you can see here's an ethene, also called ethylene. So we have ethene, ethene, ethene. So then we have many of them repeating. So we don't add any more hydrogens, we just break the double bond and then bond these carbons together. So you can see here we have still 2 carbons with 2 hydrogens, 2 carbons with 2 hydrogens. That is the monomer unit, and there's many, many, many of these together in a long chain. And that makes what we call polyethylene. You can identify the type of polymer that's used to make plastics by looking at the recycling symbol that's usually on the bottom of a plastic bottle. There are arrows inside a triangle. So there's PETE, which is polyethylene tetraphthalate. There's HDPE, which is high density polyethylene. There's PVC, which is polyvinyl chloride. LDPE, low density polyethylene. PP, which is polypropylene. PS is polystyrene, and then there's an other category as well. But these recycling categories can tell you what type of plastic is being manufactured. So both high density polyethylene and low density polyethylene are made from ethylene or ethene monomers, and they come together to make these polyethylene. It's used in plastic bottles, insulation, shopping bags, plastic furniture, all kinds of different things. Number 3 is polyvinyl chloride. So they take chloroethene. So here's a chloro group on the ethene molecule. And so that makes, and it's also known as vinyl chloride. So we can get polyvinyl chloride or PVC. It's used in plastic pipes, garden hoses, lots and lots of other things as well. There's polypropylene. So propylene is propene, 1, 2, 3 carbon molecules. So that's propene. So then here we have 1, 2, 3. That's our monomer. 1, 2, 3. There's our monomer. 1, 2, 3. There's our monomer. So polypropylene is used in skiing and hiking clothing, the dry fit type of monomer type of clothing, carpets, plastic bottles, food containers, tubing, plastic tubing, some plastic bags, those kinds of things. So there's no recycling code for it, but tetrafluoroethane, so 1, 2, 3, 4 fluorines, tetrafluoroethene, comes together to make a polymer, polytetrafluoroethylene, which is known as Teflon. It's also used in Gore-Tex rainwear to run off the rain. And then there's polystyrene, and this one's phenylethene. This is a chain, a circular chain of carbon atoms, and then that comes together and we get what's called polystyrene or styrofoam. So those are also different types of polymers that can be made from alkenes.